Hello, Gemini. I am here to dive into your year ahead, just sort of look at how 2022 is going to unfold for you. What is the main theme this year? What is the main work to do? And what do you need to be aware of? What's coming in? This is a really important year of change, especially for the air signs. Feel it coming in really strongly for the air signs. The winds of change are definitely blowing. And it's interesting, as I was tapping into the Gemini collective before I, pressed record on the camera here, I was just really feeling that there's this need for comfort right now. Comfort and warmth. These two things were really coming in. Just needing a moment to kind of like sink in and just be nurturing towards yourself. I feel like you've dealt with a lot of coldness in your environment, and even emotions that relate to that quality of cold, which is associated with fear, anxiety, feeling frozen, because you're scared of making the wrong choice or not taking the correct step, and dealing with uncertainty, the unknown, which is something that human beings in general struggle with, right? But I think you've really been dealing with a lot of changeable conditions for a while now. And of course, that's been reflected in the world at large, right? But even in your personal life, in the areas of health, just how you're holding up mentally, emotionally, in some cases physically. Bones in particular, I don't know why that's coming in. I do some medical intuitive stuff, and there is this like health piece coming in with you, and this need for you all to also really listen to your body. Even if you're dealing with doctors, and experts, like really tune into your bodies. Your bodies will tell you what they're in need of. You'll be able to feel it out. And there's an emotional component too. There's some old stuff you're hanging on to in your space that's actually contributing to your nervous system overload. And that can affect a lot of things. So I'm really getting this pull that came in for the Gemini collective to make sure that you're taking time to just take a breath, take a pause, give yourself care, give yourself comfort, give yourself warmth. Do you remember what those things are? What comforted you when you were a kid? When you were a kid and you felt uncertain or you felt anxious? What calmed you down? What made you feel safe? What made you feel steady? Bring those things in. There's some kind of medicine there for you all right now. And I just want to light this bay leaf just to send a little of that cleansing energy your way. Just to let go of the old cycle. Air signs are really in this place of tying up the old cycle. And they're in that that waiting room. They're not sure quite what's going to be born from the opening that's being created now, right? So just cleansing away any anxiety, any fear about that, about the unknown, you know. That's the bitch, huh? The recognition that, you know, you don't have control over everything. Some things are out of your hands. And how can you flow with that? With grace and with ease and with trust, especially when you feel like your foundation has been really rocked. You know, I feel like a lot of you could benefit from root work, you know, really taking care of that first chakra, spending time in nature, spending time with trees in particular, just getting that rooting, you know. Feeling that sense of belonging, you know, your belonging. The way the earth holds you, just tapping into that energy, you know, that solidity, even though it may feel like there's a lot of shifting sands. And that was just coming in really strongly for you all. Here, Ted. Ted's here. I'm bribing him with biscuits now, so he'll be calm and quiet during the readings. Just a little quick rundown. Please like, share, subscribe. You know, it's really great for supporting the channel and helping it build. And I really look forward to bringing so many more readings and so much other stuff here for you guys, and just giving us all an opportunity to have a space where we can drop in and, you know, connect with each other and talk about shit that matters. Connect in a real way. So I'd really appreciate that. Also, I speak in terms of he, she, they, them, kings and queens and all that. It's energy, you know, it's fluid. Feel out how it applies to you, you know, don't get too hung up on it. Same thing with the astrological signs that I call out. All right, remember, they're just energies. They're all energies, but they're energy signatures that help you kind of tap into the specifics of who you may be dealing with, okay? But remember, you know, anybody can embody those energies. And finally, I'm reading for a collective. So that's so many different stories, right? But what you'll find is that the overarching energies are pretty consistent, you know? So I would say open up your perception, you know, open up your intuition and feel into it, lean into it, and understand how the energy is specifically speaking to you with these messages that are coming through, okay? Okay, so let's do this and dive right in and look at what is coming in for Gemini Collective throughout 2022. What is the overarching theme that's going to carry the energy signature of 2022 for the Gemini Collective? Spirit, go ahead and come on through. We've got one card that came out right off the bat, and that is the spaceship, okay? So, you know, you're in a place right now where, I'm seeing with this squirrel energy, okay? Squirrel is all about sort of stocking up for the future. And I feel like you are in this place right now where you're not certain what's around the bend. And because you're not certain about what's around the bend, like I was saying, your root is being rocked a bit, like your sense of security, your sense of stability. So you might be in a place right now where you're kind of like squirreling away, squirreling away your money, being really frugal, wanting to make sure that you have all your T's crossed and your I's dotted, right? You're like looking at the details and looking at what you need to do to create some kind of stability, some kind of security for yourself and those you love, all right? And this is really on your mind. And I also feel like, you're in this like unknown territory. You're really not sure what's going to happen next. You're not sure what your next step is. You're not sure how really, important situations in your life are going to unfold. Some of these are of a personal nature, in relationships. Some of it's related to family, okay? Some of it's related to home, you know, and where you should put down roots and where you should invest, your time, your energy, your resources, all right? I feel like there's a lot of uncertainty right now, and you sort of feel like you're in uncharted territory. And I think you can feel also that a lot is about to shift for you, and you would be right about that. You know, um, I think it is wise to set some aside for a rainy day and to do what you can, to create some sense of security for yourself. And like I was talking about, doing what you can to provide yourself with a sense of comfort. There may be some revolving doors in your life this year. There may be people that, you know, it's their time to go. And there also are going to be new characters entering the scene. I feel like you're going to be making new connections. And these people that are going to come into your life, they're going to open up your mind in a new way, and they're going to open up new directions for you that you can't really anticipate right now. So there's a new chapter in your life unfolding. And naturally, with any new chapter, the old chapter must close. And so some things got to go. Some things have served their purpose. And I think that that's what you're going to be in the process of doing. I also see you traveling. And when I say travel, I'm not just talking about, physical travel, but I also think you're going to be on kind of like a higher consciousness trip. I think you're going to start to be more drawn to some of these like, more expansive spiritual energies. You might even be opening up on that level. You might find that your intuition really does start to come forward. You may find that you start to get downloads. You might feel destabilized by that sometimes and wonder what's going on with me. I'm not used to opening up this way. Some of you, this is new to you. Some of you have been through this before. But I do feel like there's this like raise in consciousness, this expansion that's happening, this opening. You're looking at things in new ways. You're feeling new sensations. You're being drawn to experiences you've never been drawn to before, and your mind is opening up to new ways of thinking, looking at things, and you're ready to really flow with that energy. And I do think you're going to be moving into a lot of expansion. I really was drawn to the blue light tonight. And I find it always has relevance and it always has meaning. Like every little detail of a reading has meaning. And I feel like a lot of your work revolves around the throat chakra, really aligning with your purpose. Okay, throat, people always think throat is just all about communication. And yes, it is part of that. Okay, it is about communication, but it's also about aligning with your purpose, you know, so you can express that in the world. So I believe that's part of the reason why you're starting to experience this expansion, this opening. And as you expand and as you open and you see things in new ways, and you come into deeper layers of yourself, and you get closer to the core of your essence, like who you are, you're a Shay. What makes you you? The gifts that you have to share in the world. As you do that, you come closer and closer in alignment with your purpose, the activation of your purpose. So I feel like, you know, this is your main focus right now, and using your voice, you know, expressing yourself, but also really connecting with why you are here. And I just saw the star card from the tarot in my mind. I'm working with a different deck tonight. I'm working with an oracle deck. It's called the Super Awesome Future deck. And I just love it because it's silly and it's out there and it's trippy and it's fun. But I saw the traditional star card in my mind's eye just now. It's possible you may be dealing with an Aquarius, and just that Aquarian energy, right? That Aquarian energy is very consciousness raising. It's very expansive, okay? I really feel like you're going to be doing a lot of this spiritual work. I feel like you may even be drawn to some, you know, concepts that some of, you know, the people around you might think are kind of out there. You know, you may be drawn to, you know, extraterrestrial life forms. You may feel like, you know, you're in touch with your starseed lineage, you know. You may find that you start to be interested in things like astrology, you know, or astronomy, you know, wanting to connect with that essence of ether, you know, really wanting to connect more with the quality of your elemental, I mean, your air energy. From an Ayurvedic perspective, I'm just gonna like bring that in. Air energy is like vata. Vata is ether and air, okay? So I feel like you're moving more towards that less tangible side of your air elemental. You know, you're wanting to go more into the outer limits. You're curious, you know, but that's also why it's important for you to have grounding too, like we were talking about. It's important. If you're going to go out there, you need to have good tethering, you know, so make sure those of you who are actively experiencing, you know, consciousness expansion, you're having this opening, you're having spiritual opening. Make sure you're rooting yourself. Make sure you're properly nourishing yourself. Make sure you have a routine of self-care. Make sure that you're getting good sleep and you're properly hydrated, and you take some time to like step outside and connect with nature, and that you breathe. You know, breathing, it can help a lot with anxiety, okay? But it also can help you move into expansion. The breath can make room for big emotions. And I feel like your sensitivity is going to be heightened. But on practical terms, okay? I do feel like there is definitely this focus on security, making sure you have enough. I do see you squirreling away. I do see you saving. I do see you being very frugal. I don't think you're going to be out spending money like you have been in the past. I think you're trying to prepare. And I also see at some point this year that you're going to be saving up for a trip. And you're going to go somewhere that you've never been before, but you've always wanted to go there. What just came in, I think some of you might be really feeling a deep connection to Stonehenge, and that you've always wanted to experience that you've always wanted to go and visit that place and stand there. you know, that it has connection actually with your lineage, and it's something you've been drawn to. So I do see that some of you are going to be planning to travel. And when you go travel, it's going to be to one of these places that you feel this like soul resonance with. You know, Stonehenge came in very clearly, but I do feel like sacred sites are part of this trip. And that's also part of what you'll be, you know, saving money for. You'll want to go on the trip of a lifetime is what just kind of came in. So I want to see what else we got coming in with that to expand. Yeah, and I think you're going to be able to do it. Woo, I just got intense sentience. Look at this coming in. We got abundance. Jackpot. You can't see it, okay, because I'm using the blue light. But this side of the card, it's like the yellow brick road. And I mean, how cool is that? I feel like you're on that adventure, right? You're off to see the fucking wizard, okay? Everything's getting very unusual for you in your life. I'm really feeling this energy come in for Gemini. It's sort of like it's like a magical mystery tour, okay? But it's also like a spiritual initiation of sorts. This energy is really wild. I'm digging it. Like, I'm tapping into your guys' energy right now, and it's really fucking cool. Really fucking cool. Yeah, but I see, you know, this may be actually a good direction to, you know, sort of channel your energies in terms of your finances too. Maybe you want to be a trip guide and you take people to sacred sites and you educate them about the history of the place, you know, that they're standing, you know, you let them know the importance of that land, and help people connect with the sacredness of their earth again, you know, through visiting these sacred sites. Maybe you're going to get into doing metaphysical work. You know, maybe you're drawn to the healing arts, or maybe you're drawn to the occult arts. Maybe you want to start reading cards yourself, or you have an idea, you know, for a book you want to write that is about personal growth, or sharing something that's been very important to you in your own spiritual growth process and healing process. But I see that this could be a very lucrative route for you. And the more that you can kind of like come into that place where you're really connecting on a soul level, you're gonna activate your purpose. You know, you want to feel where there's resonance. You know, where do you feel the pull? What kind of awakens you? What makes you feel a sense of excitement when you think about investing your energy in that? Go where the enthusiasm is, okay? Because the enthusiasm is what's going to unlock doors for you. And if you're feeling like you're kind of stagnant right now and you're having a hard time connecting with that spirit of enthusiasm, well, get out there, man. Hop in your spaceship, man. Go to the outer limits and start exploring, like, what jazzes you? What would you do if there were no limits? What would you do? It's like Spirit's offering you that invitation right now. What would you do if you had no limits? And what's stopping you? Really, what's stopping you? Like, just do it. Take a step. Start exploring. I do see a lot of financial abundance coming your way. For some of this comes through an inheritance. Okay, just got that really strongly. For some of you, it comes through an inheritance. It's like a windfall, you know, like big money, big lump sum of money that you weren't expecting. Now, you know, there is, and I think this is very true, okay? Very, very true. Very true. Yes. This may be related to somebody, you know, who's been struggling with illness. They've been struggling with illness. You know, I'm seeing that. You know, we see the snake here. I'm really seeing this as the tree of life in this case, with the way these cards are coming together. Got illness, vigor, the lilies and the snake. Normally, you know, the meaning of this card is about temptation, but I'm not seeing it as that in this case. I really feel it's giving me vibes of knowledge and wisdom and transformation and transcendence is what's coming through for me. And with the lilies connected here, you know, we do have the Grim Reaper, okay? So lilies are a sign of honor, you know, for those who have died. And this doesn't have to be somebody who has died specifically, but I am seeing this like illness card here. And next to it is vigor, okay? So I think there's a couple messages here, but I am getting in direct correlation with this abundance, you know, and that message about some people receiving an inheritance. I think that there may be somebody who's been very ill, has been fighting, you know, some serious illness, maybe has even been in convalescence. That, you know, their time may come. Their time may come to, you know, move on to the next rung of the spiral of life, you know, and they may leave you behind something to show their love and their appreciation for the way you've cared for them, for the way you've been there for them through their time of need. That'll give you some stability. I also see that watching this person who's been ill or struggling, it's also made you more conscious of your health. Like that body message came in. I think you're going to be focusing on, you know, taking care of your lungs, you know, getting some good cardiovascular training in, you know, taking care of your heart, taking care of your brain, you know, pranayama, breath work, you know, getting some breath work in. You know, making sure you're getting good EFAs, good fats, you know, to nourish your nervous system, and that you're doing things to like actively work on calming, right? Giving yourself that sense of comfort, forming new neural pathways through, you know, really showing up and giving yourself good self-care. Oil, 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 oil. I can't stress it enough, you know. Oil, really good quality oils are so good for the brain, so good for brain health, okay? And even doing things like, you know, crossword puzzles, any kind of puzzles really, anything that challenges you to you know, learn new skills helps to strengthen the brain. And then we got, you know, heart health here, paying attention to the heart. And I see that as twofold, you know. It's not just about, you know, making sure you're taking care of your cardiovascular health, but, you know, I also see you really doing the emotional work too, doing the release work you need to do. And there may be some grief also to push through, especially with, you know, it looks like potentially, you know, somebody passing, you know. There may be some loss to process this year, but I see it's going to make you more conscious as well of how you need to better show up for yourself. And this also may be why you have this awareness around, you know, security, you know, saving up for a rainy day and just the unknown. Anything can happen, and I think that that's really going to actually inspire you to sort of stop putting off things that you've always wanted to do, because it's true, you know. It's like in Carlos Castaneda, one of the books, I can't remember which book, but he was walking with Don Juan, and Don Juan told him, you know, live each moment as if it were your last, because you never know when death's going to come and tap you on the shoulder. And it's true. You know, death is a part of life. You know. snake sheds its skin over and over and over again, right? You know? And this doesn't have to be, physical death in all cases, but I am getting an inheritance message really strong. And I think that this is something that is meant for somebody who's going to hear this reading to receive. But I think it's going to make you more conscious of really, taking better care of yourself. I think you're going to start exercising, putting more awareness into that. And, surrounding yourself with loyal people that you can trust, people you can count on. You're really going to be bolstering your support systems and thinking about how you want to start using your energy in more conscious ways in your life, so you're not wasting any moments on rubbish, right? And this is really going to be a key that's going to open up new doors in your life and a new quality of life for you. Cut of the deck energy. And it aligns you with your soul tribe. And it's going to open up a brand new direction for you. And again, travel. I see travel in the picture, okay? Sagittarius energy here, with that centaur energy.